Hi, and welcome to Middle Age Geeks, the podcast where we talk about movies, TV shows, video games, and anything else in between. My name is Phil, and I'm joined as always by my co-host Daz. Daz, how are you getting on?
I'm doing very good, man. Very good. Just back from my friend's kid's 5th birthday party, so high on cake and more cake, but also knackered from running around after fucking 10 kids playing fucking chasing. Yeah, good fun though.
Deadly.
How about yourself?
Yeah, grand. I'm fucking. I didn't sleep last night, so I went to have a fucking nap this afternoon, and just fucking. So I'm still zoned out. But otherwise in good form. Yeah, the weather's been half decent. I thought it was going to piss rain all week, and it's actually been half decent. I've watched some good stuff, which I'm looking forward to talking about, and some bad stuff. But yeah, we can get into it. I suppose, just for people who haven't listened before, what we do is we talk about at the start kind of basically news, entertainment news, video game news, that kind of thing. Then we'll talk about what we've been playing and watching for the last week, maybe what we might recommend. And then our main section is usually a movie review, and it is this week as well. We're going to be reviewing an Arcadian, 2024 Arcadian movie starring Nicolas Cage. And so Daz is going to take us through that in a while. But yeah, maybe we can start off with a bit of news. Daz, is there anything that jumped out at you this week?
Mainly, it was the Xbox showcase that was on last week. I think it was the same day we recorded, or later that night it was on. And wasn't really looking forward to it at all because, Xbox, all the shit they've been up to the last 18 months or so in terms of laying people off, shutting down studios, wasn't really looking forward to too much. But I said I'd check it out and watch a YouTube watch along with one of the kind of funny guys. And I thought it was fucking unbelievable. It was like all these games that Xbox had been promising for the past 400 years are suddenly starting to line up. All these acquiring so many different companies over the last 7, 8, 9 years. I thought it was great. We got like a Gears of War prequel, was the one more thing at the end, which was really cool to see. They're doing E-Day, the emergence day of the whole thing, which I thought that was pretty good. We got Doom, the Dark Ages, which it's another Doom and the Dark Ages, but he's got a fucking shield, a shotgun, a shield with a chainsaw on it. Just like, sign me up for that.
Those games are fucking insane.
Trailer was just fantastic. There's like loads of other, like this Dragon Age game, which I'm not really into, but looked interesting. State of Decay 3, Fable, and Perfect Dark, which was a highlight as well. Like, it was just
Perfect Dark, man.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere and it just looked fantastic. And it was just a lot. It was a big win for them, which I think they needed because no one was really taking them seriously anymore. Which kind of flop after flop after flop. But this looks like the next maybe year, 18 months could be pretty big for them. Hopefully, it's just like a lot of games that I would straight away go on, play that, and they all straight away go on the wish list. But and I just rewatched that about 2 or 3 times.
Hopefully loads of them go on to Game Pass as well. That'd be great.
Yeah, and that was a lot of them. It was world premiere and then play it on day one on Game Pass. That came up after most games, so it's just pretty good. But apart from that, not really any other new stuff. You were just sending me the Watchmen thing earlier on. The Watchmen trailer that.
I don't know massive amount around it. Yeah, like I'd heard it was coming out, and then the teaser trailer is only like 45 seconds long, but animation looks incredible. It looks so much like the comic, so much what you're expecting. It has that awesome feel. It's Rorschach doing the kind of voice over, and it just looks fucking class. Like it's a 2-part animated movie. I probably need to do more research because I don't know exactly if it's HBO doing it or if it's coming out in cinema. I went looking for IMDb and it wasn't there, so I don't know.
Wow.
I don't have a load of info on it, but it's anybody out there wants to check out the trailer. Like, it's only like 45 sequends long on YouTube. It's worth having a look at.
It looks really good. I just wonder if they'll stick 100% to the comics or will they go away from the kind of Zack Snyder ending of his controversial ending of his movie.
Yeah, I mean, controversial ending, but for the most part, his thing was very
like for
loyal
like,
to the. Yeah. The actually, I meant to say, just regards writers and stuff. Frank Miller is going to be at the Dublin Comic Con
No
this
way.
year. Yeah, Frank Miller and I think who else? And some of the cast of Starship Troopers, like Casper Van Dien,
No way.
Michael
I'll have to get tickets for that.
Ironside, Dina Meyer. Yeah, and Kate Mulgrew, Captain Janeway is there going to be there as well.
Oh fucking hell! They're up
Which
in
is
the
deadly.
game pretty much. The
Yeah,
one year
which is deadly.
we say, this year we're going to go to London because they always get the good fucking stars, and straight away now they've Dublin up in their game.
Definitely go to
I would
both.
go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
that
definitely go to both.
Absolutely.
So the only other bit of news I had was that the I'd mentioned on the show before, obviously my love of Stephen King, and some adaptations are fantastic, some are shocking, but there's one coming from the book called The Institute, which I reread recently, and it's based on they're making a TV series out of it, and by MGM are doing it. But they just got a little bit more information on it. They're saying that so Ben Barnes is starring in it. He was in like Shadow and Bone and The Punisher and a few other things, like really good. And Mary Louise Parker, so anyway, you might know her from like Weeds or fucking she was in Mr. Mercedes as well, I suppose. So it's another Stephen King adaptation. Like it sounds cool. The only thing is like, so you've got kind of the director producer Jack Bender's doing it, who did like some Lost and Mr. Mercedes and stuff. You're like, oh, that could be pretty cool. But then you've got Benjamin Cavill, who I would know mainly from like as one of the producers on like writers. Sorry, he's writing it, and he was one of the writers on Justified, which is a fantastic TV show. But he was also a writer for The Stand, which came out a few years ago, which is another Stephen King remake, and that is appalling. Like it's so bad.
So bad.
Yeah, it's because we waited since like the one from the 90s. Like the Stand adaptation from the 90s is better than this one. It's so bad. So you're kind of just like kind of excited, but yeah. So it's getting filmed anyway. I think in Canada. I think it starts filming at some point this year. So towards the end of the year. So hopefully we'll see. We'll get that at some stage in 2025. Yeah. No, that's me for news as well. Then. So look, with the news stuff out of the way, why don't we move on then to what we've been playing and what we've been watching. So, Daz, what about you? What have you been playing and watching this week?
Watching not too much. I've been catching up on a few random episodes of old stuff. I ended up watching a few episodes of The Wire because my wife is rewatching it again, and for the second time, I think I've watched that through about 4 times. But I was watching a bit of season 1 on that and just seeing how young everyone is. It's incredible. But I had to stop after one episode because you just feel yourself getting lured in, and it's just I don't have enough time in my hands. I can't watch old stuff. I have to try and watch new stuff with the limited time.
Yeah.
But playing wise, I've been playing a lot of Balatro and Dave the Diver still. But I signed up for like around the Game Fest. There was a trailer for a new first-person shooter. I'm just trying my hand with these first-person shooters to find one that I'm actually fucking good at. It'll be a long wait. But there was a trailer for a game, Valorant, which I think is a PC game or something like that. And
around for a while.
I'd heard a lot about it. And there was a closed beta for the console versions. And they'd like sign up for the beta. And I've never really done that too much in terms of betas and stuff like that. But I signed up and then over the weekend got my sign-in key to go in and download it and play a little beta of it. So I played that last night and this morning for about 2 hours, and it's a fun shooter. It's kind of nice, like not so much cartoony graphics, but it's not an ultra realistic shooter. And yeah, I've been pretty good at it so far. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah, maybe just getting a lot of shit people who are trying this beta out. But yeah, gunplay's fun. It's fluid. I don't think it would last too long. I imagine if the full game comes out and I play with proper fucking players, get my ass handed to me. But yeah, bit of fun. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. What about yourself?
Yeah, actually, I barely played anything, just bits and pieces of, I haven't sat down and had a gaming session in a while. Just been busy in work. But I did watch a couple of things this week. So the new season of The Boys started.
Oh, yeah.
The first 3 episodes are up. So I watched that. It's fantastic. I still don't think it's up to the level of the earlier seasons. we're only 3 episodes in. It's not hitting hitting the heights, but it does still have some fucking proper laugh out loud moments. It's still as you can imagine, it's over the top violence as usual, effing and blinding. It's a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying that. I'm glad it's back. Only one more season after this one, unfortunately. And then,
but it's the ending of season 5, is it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think season 5 is the last season. The other thing I watched is something that is getting a lot of heat in the media and in general at the moment is The Acolyte. I watched the first 3 episodes of that.
Oh, wow.
And like my first impression was that the one star reviews, like I sat down to watch episodes 1, 2, and 3, and when I was watching episode 2, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't understand where the 1 star reviews are coming from. Like, it's not great by any stretch of imagination. It's not
1 star is
that
a bit excessive.
That it's 1 star. You know, like it's not good, and it doesn't really feel too much like Star Wars. But it's still, I was like, there's still a bit to like about this. But then we get to episode 3, and episode 3 is one of the worst pieces of television I've ever seen. It's absolutely appalling. Like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It messes with the Star Wars lore. But forget about the lore. It's the way it's shot. Like there's one part, there's a fire inside this place, and the whole place is made of stone. Yet the fire is like making its way up and burning down the whole place. Like it's literally just made of like stone ground, stone walls, and then some steel beams and stuff around the place. Yet this place goes up like it's a fucking thatched cottage. It's just it doesn't make any sense, and just the performances aren't there. It's the only really saving grace for me for the most part is Lee Jung Jae from Squid Game.
Oh yeah,
who learned English for his role as Soul, and it's a great performance. Like it's not just the dude who who learns English but isn't putting the feeling behind the sentences. You ever get that? Some people, if they've learned another language, and I'm sure it happens when English is translated to native Spanish speakers, might listen and go that he's not hitting the right parts, but it's he was delivering them really well. It's just his character Soul is probably the best character in it so far. So like that's enjoyable. And seeing Daphne Keane, who was in Logan and Golden Compass and stuff, their Dark Materials. She's in it, so it's good to see her in something again. But yeah, for the most part, it's worth watching, Daz, just to kind of see what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's not a great show,
and some there's some kind of dance ritual, they say. It's just like some kind of singing, interpretive kind of dance stuff going on, and it's just like wow. That as we always talk about with shitty movies and stuff sometimes, and you were talking about Madam Web last week. Sometimes if something's so bad, you kind of go, I just might have to check this out. Like, could I watch episode 3 without watching episode 1 and 2?
Well, like you don't have to follow it. I mean, I can once we're off air, I can give you I can give you a spoilered review of the first 2 when we're off here. But it's not just plot holes in that universe because of what they do with it. It's that there's plot holes within these episodes alone. You're kind of going, that doesn't make any fucking sense,
Wow.
But it's just we'll have a chat about it maybe off the thing so we don't ruin it on anybody. But yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan, just pretend like this doesn't exist and just go on with your life.
Oh God.
Okay, well, look, with with another section out of the way, what we'll do is move on then to our main section, which is, as we said, a movie review. So, Daz, whenever you're ready, why don't you take us through it?
Super duper. So, this week we are reviewing Arcadian, 2024 post-apocalyptic action horror film, directed by Benjamin Brewer, from a screenplay by Michael Nylan. Benjamin Brewer, I was checking him up, and I don't think he's done anything. His main credit was his visual effects for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is that's what he's known for. That's a pretty good credit. But directing wise, you're more up to date on horror movies. Did you know him, or did you know any of his work or anything like that?
No, I'm not familiar with him. I mean, I know the name. I think his brother might also be in the business, who's I mean, maybe he's more famous for his, but I'm not sure. Like I didn't recognize the name when I saw him coming up. The writer, funnily enough, I did know his name.
Okay.
And not for a good reason, just for something I looked up recently. Like he's because he's mainly known, like he's a writer but like he's writer slash I think producer, but he's mainly known for like producing Nicolas Cage movies, because I'd looked up a few of them and saw his name popping
That's
up.
a pretty good.
So when
That's a good mixed bag.
yeah, but when I checked it out to see, like he's produced, right? He's been a producer on 11 movies, and 10 of them are Nicolas Cage movies.
That's brilliant.
10 out of 11 movies, and like apparently he's like a talent agent as well. The guy who wrote this.
Wow.
So
and he sings on cruise
yeah.
ships, probably. He does it all.
He produces, writes that he's just a triple threat. Yeah, that's the. I wouldn't have had a massive amount of knowledge on their work though, really, like as in I've seen it, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, but this movie anyway stars Nicolas Cage, is probably obvious, and he's the father of 2 teenage boys, and they're all trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world that features some nasty, nasty creatures. So first and foremost, we will just go through our kind of hot thoughts on it, and give just a basic review, and then we'll jump into a spoiler-heavy discussion. More often than not with good movies, but more so with really, really bad movies. On this podcast, we tend to go really long and overboard in our length. Like sometimes they're as long as the movie themselves. This one, though, I think will be a bit shorter because it's kind of a run-of-the-mill movie from my point of view. Like I actually enjoyed this movie for the most part. I think Nicolas Cage is great in another understated role, which like he's not exactly phoning it in, but he's pretty good. I thought his kids are pretty good. I found it pretty tense for about an hour. The pacing and world building for the budget, and you know they do the best they can. The cinematography we will get into with the cameraman, as Phil said to me before, that it's a little bit shaky. Maybe he has one leg, or he's on a peg, or he's hopping around. It's quite interesting.
You're best watching this movie on a boat, so it kind of cancels it out. You know, just.
Won't really get into it, but I think the last act is pretty absurd. The last 20 minutes kind of false pieces for me. Monsters in this were kind of interesting to a certain degree. Clever enough, although they're pretty shit at being monsters. The CGI is also a bit of a mixed bag. But yeah, because initially we were thinking, oh shit, is this going to be another like 1 to 2 star awful movie? But I'd probably give this. It's probably a good 2.5 star movie for me. It's you've seen it all before, but it's, you know, I don't really see that many horror movies, although I think this is a type of horror movie that I like. You know, it's reminded me like of something like The Descent or something like that, where it's kind of post-apocalyptic horror stuff. I think I like 28 Days Later, okay, with a zombie creature kind of stuff. But I think I'm dialing in with it's the supernatural stuff that just frightens the living shit out of me. But this I thought was well, I don't think it's particularly scary, but yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. How about yourself?
No, I don't think we're definitely not going to be on the same page this week. No, I didn't like it's definitely taken, obviously borrowed heavily from other movies, as you said. It's not. It's very I Am Legend / fucking, you know, Quiet Place. There's too many things that just don't sit right with me with regards to the kind of continuity and the stuff with it. Just kind of didn't sit right. We get it when we get into the kind of spoilered section, but just as my overall view, no, I'd probably go 2 stars because Nicolas Cage is good in it, but it's not really his movie. It's the 2 sons that are the main stars, and one of them is fuck, his name is after escaping me now. Jaden Martell is his name, who plays Joseph in this. Was Bill in the Stephen King chapter 1 and 2. And was fantastic in that. You know, he plays a guy with a stutter and does it really, really well. I thought he was great. He was probably my favorite character in this. But overall, it's just we'll get into him. That we start getting into the spoilered section. But for me now, it was a bit of a miss.
Yeah, I'd say Well, I'm probably going to agree with everything you say, but I don't watch enough of these movies for it to.
Well, look, man, if you enjoyed it, that's what matters.
Well, enjoy is probably a strong word. I was like, the bar was low. Like I was expecting the worst, and when you texted me and said, actually, yeah, it's got 3 stars from Empire. I was like, fucking hell, 3 stars. Like,
Yeah, well,
and
I
it's
think the
getting
reason
pretty
I
good on Rotten Tomatoes. But when you read the reviews, a lot of it is it's doing well with what it had. You know, it's those reviews where they're getting like 3
yeah,
out of 5,
and
but it's not it's
that's
not a
it. Yeah, because
high
I think
praise.
yeah, I think when people read Rotten Tomatoes and see 99, 98%, you go, oh my God, it must be absolutely amazing. But like, even if
Yeah,
this has like 80% or something Rotten Tomatoes, it just means that they gave a, like, what is it, above a 6 or something like that, so
yeah.
it's really like middling kind of movie. Just that's what gives it a positive.
It's
It's
just a
no,
pass. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's not like it's either in Rotten Tomatoes, it's a fail or it's good. It's
Mm.
not, there's no mixed in between kind of scaling. So that's why it can be a little bit weird. But the the reason that I had suggested we do this one is because I know this is out in the States and it has been out
Mm.
for, I think, for the last few months, and like you can stream it. But
It's been
in
out for a few
Ireland here,
months, is
it's
it? Wow.
yeah. I think it was out in April, I think, in the States.
Mm.
But here it's just out in the cinema in Ireland at the moment. So if you want to go and see it, check it out. You can. I don't think it's made a massive amount of money. I
It's
think
made
it's
about
worldwide. It's
9.
only
I think it made 900 grand or something so far globally.
yeah. I was gonna
So,
say around. I was
yeah.
gonna say around a million, like it made. So, um, but yeah. But that's my spoiler free stuff.
Mm.
So if you want to,
Mm. We'll jump into spoiler heavy then. Yeah, I couldn't figure out, or I couldn't find online the budget for it. The guy just said it cost less than 60 million because he was referencing some other movie, and it was just like, right, okay, definitely nowhere near fucking 60 million.
they
But
shot it
like the
here.
did
It's
they?
shot here. Yeah, the whole movie shot here. It's shot in the starting part is shot in Dublin with him running down, and then
That's
the
so fucking
rest
weird
of it's all
because it
shot.
does look recognizable. Some of those alleyways that he's running through. It's just
Yeah,
like that could be fucking Dublin, you know.
and not just that, but the whole feel of it. You know what I mean? You're like, what? It's not really explained why this dude has, he's, but why it's an American dude in what's very obviously not America. You can tell by it. Even if you didn't think it was Ireland, you would think it was like the UK or something that has
Yeah.
that. The buildings that we do see and everything are just very much Irish countryside stuff. So it's kind of, that's one of the continuity things. You're like, well, why is the American guy with his 2 sons with American accents and the rest? It's because it looks very, the whole place looks like they're living in the countryside. It doesn't really make a massive amount of sense.
Yeah. But like,
it's
it starts off straight away with like when you text me, you had started watching it and you're just going fucking hell. The cinematography straight away, like just set the scene first. Like it opens with Nicolas Cage running through back alleys, and this sound design is kicked into overdrive. To you can hear kind of like bombs and gunfire going off in the background and sirens and everything. It's just like, war's happening, but obviously with a low budget, it's just him and someone is obviously let's make it chaotic. He's running, he's trying to get away from something, he's scavenging. Let's go handheld. And like, I'm going to bash handheld quite a lot in this. And I have nothing against handheld. There's a reason for it, and it's a motivational choice, whatever, from a director's point of view. But there's the handheld, and handheld is supposed to simulate how somebody would, if you're holding a camera and if you're walking with the camera, whatever, like to violently shake it is another thing altogether. To the point where you just go, what the fuck? Like, imagine if we saw this and for, like, we are front row cinema lovers, myself and Phil, and if we had seen this in the cinema in the front row, like, it just would have puked into fucking popcorn. You just go, what? Why is it's following behind Nicolas Cage is walking, but the camera is violently kind of shaking all over the place. It's like someone's gone, it's war,
But like you said, like, it's supposed to be when he's running and it's fucking going after him. And a lot of people movies use it to make you feel like it's actually him tearing along. And that's fine. The problem is at the start, he's just in that alleyway kind of getting supplies and stuff. And, he's doing nothing. He's just walking from one part to the next. And the fucking camera is working. It's like, your man is just standing like he's had a few pints on his morning break before he put the camera on. Like, and he's doing the screen and fucking moving. I was like, why is that? This is like an amateur student film or something. Why is the camera dipping side to side when he's not doing anything? He's literally just picking something up. Like, it was weird. Like, it was such a jarring thing. And I get it if you want it, like you said, if it's supposed to be the feel of the movie, then use that for the whole movie. But it's not. It doesn't feel like they're using handheld for every part of the movie either. It's just, it didn't make sense to me now.
Yeah, and
the camera work
it
was all
is
over
kind
the
of
place.
jarring because like I liked the way they did that introduction to set up. It's like it's a good low budget way of setting up the world
Oh
with
yeah,
like the sound design, and he's scavenging, and it's cool, and like we then get a shot, a wide shot, one of their kind of money shots where it's a wide shot of him after getting away from the city and scavenging, and he's on his way back home or whatever, and you get that wide shot, and it's the kind of cityscape in the distance with smoke and stuff, and it's like, all right, that's our post-apocalyptic setting. That's great. And this is our like opening credit scene, and the credits are playing over this, and it's if the camera was a little bit less fucking manic, it would just it wouldn't have taken so much of my attention. But I thought that was good. Yeah,
yeah.
he enters a derelict house then when he gets away from the city, and we see that he has two little twin babies that he's caring for there that are in this derelict place, and then we jump ahead 15 years later. Nicolas Cage and his kids are. We say in not America, uh, in a house in like fucking Irish hills, and we just get some kind of family building, and yeah, they're sitting down, they're having dinner and saying grace, and they're going off for scavenger fucking hunts and all this kind of stuff, and you get some like the kids have Joseph and Thomas, just that's
Yeah.
they have a good kind of rapport with each other, like they're believable as twin kids because they get on each other's nerves, and they're just little shits for the most part, but
They are, yeah, but from
it's
the very
believable.
start, from the very start when we see them, I think that is good the way it was set. There's no, you don't have to give us a big fucking massive black story or anything. It was just you got that thing right at the start, the smoke in the background, very simple. I'm sure they'll explain exactly what happened later on, but as an intro, it was fine. The thing is, like, he comes back and he's looking after these two babies on his own. And the distance from where he was in the city to where these fucking kids are at this little countryside thing when he walks
Did he
in.
leave them?
Like,
I thought one of them was in his backpack, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then because I thought there was only one initially. So when the two kids are introduced,
he walks in. The two of them are there. So like he just
left
leaves two babies, and not just like took them away somewhere like under the floorboards where if anybody came in they wouldn't find them. They're just lying on the ground, like a couple of babies just lying on the ground. And he's like, "Right, I'm going off for the day scavenging. I'm sure you'll be grand." But it was just a bit. Hang on a fucking second. I wasn't sure if he just stumbled across them or what the crack was. But
yeah, that's initially I thought he came across a baby, and then it was just like, oh shit, there's two of them. What the fuck?
But when they cut to that 15 years later, straight away I'm going, why the fuck did you not just give Nicolas Cage a beard or something? Like, this is 15 years have passed. These babies are now in their mid-teens, and Nicolas Cage looks exactly the same. They didn't do anything. Nothing, not grey his hair up, not give him a few things. Like a beard, or fucking get the makeup to put some fucking shade under his eyes that he looks worn and weathered. But he looks exactly the same as he did 15 years previous. And it's just like, geez, that's the simplest thing to do. Throw on a fake beard, get him to grow a beard. If he doesn't want to grow one, give him a fake one. It was just straight off the bat, like, hang on a second, how the fuck has 15 years passed? But
but I bet you, like, who knows? Director probably went, "Oh, would you, can you grow a beard for this role?" And Nicolas Cage is kind of going, "I'm going to be on set for like 2 fucking days." This movie set up as Nicolas Cage movie, and he just does all the setup and then fucking disappears. We'll get to that, but so the family kind of dynamic's been kind of set up. And one evening they are sitting down, I think the kids are playing chess, and the dog starts scraping at the ground, and then they hear some banging at the door. They go down, and there's some violent banging, and it's like, oh, this is the kind of big bad. But they, nothing happens. Like, there's just banging, then it stops, and then the next morning they do like they're doing their daily chores and chopping wood, and we get an idea then that they come at night, right? And it's like, I imagine is this a kind of trope that you see in horror movies, let's say, a lot? Is it when they set up that, like...
But it's I think a lot of this stuff happens where these things, they mostly come at night, mostly.
Yeah.
It's a lot of this stuff has been done before. As I said, with the battening down the hatches of the house at night, then they're pulling across the blinds, they do all this stuff. And they lock this place down. It just reminded me of Will Smith in I Am Legend. Now it's closer to I Am Legend the book than it is I Am Legend, the movie, where Will Smith is like a fucking scientist. Fucking, there's way more of that the world before in the movie. It's quite different, but it reminded me a lot of the book. But there's a lot of that stuff where the evil thing comes out at night. I mean, this is a tale as old as fucking time. This is fairy tale stuff where the bad guys come out at night, the scary monster comes out at night. But it's just, again, there's just not enough. There's not enough consistency for me with these monsters, because then some points of it they seem to be quite smart, and how they've managed to break into places and tunnel and do these different things. They're going to go, okay, they've got a bit of intelligence to them. But in other parts, like, why didn't you just smash in the window? Why have you been banging on that one wooden back door that you can't get through when you could just smash in the window and jump in? Or like,
because they say something with the banging that there's like, they allude that there's like one of the kids is the smart kid, like the chess player kid, and the other kid is Thomas is the one who's trying to woo a girl or whatever we'll get to. But smart kid.
Did it remind you of the Velociraptor thing?
Yeah,
he talks about it. Yeah, because they're testing the fences. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
100%. It's just like, the monsters are clever, because he was like, they knocked 3 times, then loads of times, and then one time, like the last one was an annoyance knock or something. You're just like, what?
I said it before he did. I went, the last one was, he said, what was the one knock at the end? And I went, bet you it's frustration. And he goes, frustration. Fucking called it.
It's just like, fucking hell. It's just like you're setting up these monsters to be really fucking smart. But yeah. But like, anyway, that they keep, or the next day, they're going about their chores, and we get a very long sequence about smart kid is building like a little Jeep or something like that, and they go off and this little Jeep, and it's like that just fucking goes on forever. By the way, this movie is like 90 minutes long, 80 minutes with credits or whatever.
It breezes through though. It really does.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Flies.
There was no looking at the clock. Like it really did. If anything, it was paced grand. I wasn't complaining about that at all.
Yeah, and there's then like we find out that Thomas, one of the sons, he really wants to go to the Rose Farm. All right, because do you know who the girl is, and the girl he loves
as an actor?
Yeah.
No, I've never seen her anything before.
Yeah, no, she looked pretty. I just thought it was just like, that's somebody Phil knows fucking definitely. But so Nicolas Cage asked the two. Let's say we'll jump ahead. He asked the two kids to go on some salvage run together or whatever in the little Jeep thing that they've built, and Thomas gets kind of pissed off. They have a little kind of tiff, and Thomas says, "Right, I'm heading off to the Rose Farm because he wants to meet his the girl he likes." So he's pretending to go and maybe work for them or something, but he wants to woo this girl. And he says to Joseph that I'll meet you back here at this meeting point at sunset, and we'll go home. And then we see Thomas when he goes to the Rose Farm. There's another. It's like a little community. I don't know how many people are there. It's kind of like a family, and then some other workers. There's like 6 or 7 people there.
Yeah, but it's not fully explored. But yeah, that's what it seems like. It's almost like a little mini community kind of thing that they have going on. But
yeah, and we see their daughter there that he's besotted with, and they have a nice chat and all this kind of stuff. But when he does go back to try and meet his brother at sunset, he slips and falls down. It's the most slapstick little slip I've ever seen in my life. He's just running across, and he's just like, whoa, just slips and falls down a fucking little mini ravine in the woods into a little underground fucking cave or something. And at the same time, the other brother, Joseph, has gone down underground as well into some scavenging thing. This is one of our jump scares where nothing happens. I hate these things where he's just like, opening little boxes and stuff, and then, some bugs fall out, and it's like, oh, fucking scared. And just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Bugs.
Well, there's lots of bugs. That was fucking horrible,
gross.
Actually. Yeah.
Fucking cockroaches, man. They're one of the worst.
Is that what they are? It's just like, oh my God, they're fucking everywhere. But when Thomas is trapped underneath in the cave, we get I thought it was a really cool reveal of the fucking creatures, because he's he's trapped in this little cave, and has a little lighter, little flint, and he's kind of scraping it on the walls to try and see where he's going. But he gets up to one part and scrapes it, and you just see a little fucking this kind of translucent hand, and that kind of it's kind of funny and scary when you see like a little glimpse of the kind of shadow of the face of the guy with the big eyes and kind of a. It's like it looks like he's smiling with a big mustache or something. It's just
it almost didn't look like the rest of them.
Yeah.
It almost didn't look like the rest of the monsters. I was looking at it going, oh, that's a weird looking creature.
Yeah,
the
I thought that was interesting, but the rest of them then, when they're revealed later on, are kind of like, it's supposed to be cool, but they didn't look like that. They didn't look as creepy or as, like, when the monsters are very creepy, it's great, but when you actually see them, they start running around and doing dumb shit, I think it's preposterous, some of the stuff that they do later on. But anyway, Joseph gets home, and Nicolas Cage is like, "Where's Thomas?" And he says, "Oh shit, he's not here." So Nicolas Cage goes out to save him, and this is pretty much Nicolas Cage's last fucking scene. One of his last scenes, when he I don't know how he finds him pretty quickly, right?
Like
I don't know if I missed something here, because he just went out looking in this vast fucking woods, and it's like
yeah,
like very strange. I think it's at night as well.
That's the thing. Like they don't really explain why did they leave it so close tonight. Like if they've been 15 years, the world has gone to shit for at least 15 years. They know how fucking dangerous stuff is. Last time, you would never leave anything this late in the day to go, to head back. Like because he's literally going. The brother's going, "Jeez, it's getting dark." Like it's so close to being night. Why would you leave it anywhere near close to being dark? You have to. You should be compensating for the fact that you don't want to get caught out here.
At fucking noon.
Like. Yeah, you're back. You're like back exactly. You're back close enough that you can fucking see your house. Kind of thing. So it was just a bit weird. And then, but the thing is, they make this big issue about people going out at night. How dangerous it is. They're locked in the house at night. They lock the place up. Apart from the thing that Nicolas Cage, which is actually self-inflicted, that apart from that, everybody who's gone out at night makes it back fine. Like they've all got stuck out at night time, and they've all been grand. These
guys just bang on doors and go,
"Come out so I can eat you." It's just, but yeah, I think I agree with you, Daz. He finds him out in this, like, not just in a field, but down in a ravine, in a hole, fairly quickly. And your man is being quite silent because he's trying to avoid these fucking avoid the be quiet so he doesn't get eaten by these fucking things. So it was a bit weird, yeah.
But then, like, Nicolas Cage, when he finds him, like they start. This is when we get kind of an idea of them being able to somehow dig underground and dig underneath people and tunnel up then underneath, because the ground starts kind of giving away, and they're just like, "Oh fucking, they're coming from underneath." Which I thought was like it's a very neat trick to have, and why haven't they done that in the house? It's just it was a bit. As you're saying, the continuity from here on is a bit strange. But they come up from underneath Nicolas Cage and Thomas, and the ground starts kind of falling in. And I didn't get what he actually did, but there was just an explosion. So
he puts it's like a homemade
grenade, right?
Yeah, and he just he fucking blows it up, I suppose, to seal in the hole and kill whatever. But like,
what does he think is going to happen then? You know what I mean? It's just like...
Well, I think he knows. I think he's going to sacrifice himself, because he keeps saying to Thomas, "Get back, get back." So I think he knows he's probably going to die, but it's worth it. He kills the monsters and saves his son. Great stuff. But it's a fairly hefty fucking explosion to cave to cave it in, and Thomas has to make his way or pull him back to the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas doesn't get him all the way back to the house because what's-his-face, Joseph, has come out looking as well. And I think, like, for the most part, I enjoyed the music in this movie, and there's a it's a bit too hopeful for me, the song that's happening, the bit of piece of music while they're getting the dad and they're dragging him back to the little fucking truck that they've built to get him back to the house. It's a little too hopeful for that scene, I thought, but it was still a lovely piece of music. And there's some really nice music throughout
towards the end. There's really nice at some kind of crucial points we'll get to. But like, there's a cool scene actually. I think while this is going on back at the house, where Joseph is asleep in the room, and you can see, I think in the bedroom, and you see a bit of the wood barricade, one of the monsters, who doesn't knock this time for some reason, just manages to get it loose, and you see a little hand comes through, and oh yeah, I thought this was fucking cool, and I wish the monsters just kind of stayed like this for the movie, but the hand.
But they don't explain that
The hand comes through,
thing.
and the hand comes through, and the hand seems to extend, and then the fingernail starts to extend, and you can see in the wide shot like it's reaching across closer and closer to Joseph, who's asleep, and you're going, this is fucking cool. And yeah, and that's fucking terrifying, because you're going, holy shit, these guys, like, can they extend their body parts? Like, what's going on? What's going to happen with his finger? Like, it doesn't follow up on this scene, which I thought was one of the best scenes.
That doesn't happen again. That doesn't happen again with the
ever again.
finger thing.
They just turn into, we'll get to it. But I thought that was good, because as the creature gets closer and closer, it actually ends up opening the door and getting closer, and it's actually a ruse, and it's a trap by Joseph, and something falls down and traps the creature, and you're like, it's a very clever ploy. That's all great. But then when they get back, we move on. Yeah, once they get back, Nicolas Cage is in a bad way, and they decide, look, they need some medicine. They said, look, we can go to the Rose Farm, because they'll have medicine there, and they try to go there, and they're not let in. Essentially, they said, look, we don't have enough medicine, but they said, look, Thomas, you can stay here, and that'll allow you more resources for Joseph to take care of Nicolas Cage at home. And
fucking cold-hearted bitch.
I thought that was like, what the fuck is this,
Nicolas Cage, you can only see his legs hanging over the back of the Jeep, because he's in death's door in the back of it. Like, no, sorry, you'll have to drive him home on your little fucking jalopy that you've built. We don't have enough fucking medicine to go around, or whatever. And like, they're living in this big fucking plush house. Like, they've got full-on, like, proper beds. Seem to have like the ground is well kept and everything. Because that's another thing in this. Like, 15 years have passed. People look fucking fine. They don't look malnourished.
Yeah,
they've made kind of effort.
Like.
They've made a bit of an effort with Thomas, but it's real lazy. They put some duct tape around a couple of parts of his jacket, and to make it look like it's
shaved parts of his hair unevenly. Like, he's just like, but it doesn't look like it's malnutrition or anything. It's just like he just doesn't know how to use a razor. Like, what the fuck's he getting a razor?
Yeah, for the most part, everyone's well groomed and looks completely fine. And these people are like, because this is it again. Once again, 15 years have gone past. You cannot go out fucking at nighttime. Like, it's serious business. She is wearing this fucking like polo neck thing. She's got earrings on, like stud earrings. She looks like she's dolled up. They look like they're all wearing lovely clothes, well dressed up. They didn't even go to the bother of giving them like rags to wear. They're wearing proper clothes that they've had for, I assume, 15 fucking years. It just didn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, that part where they were cold as fuck. Like, you can stay, but your brother and your dad can't. Like, damn, that's fucking harsh.
That was a bit much. Like, so anyway, Thomas and Joseph at this point, like, kind of have a little bit of a tiff, a little bit of a argy-bargy. And that means Thomas does actually stay at the Rose Farm, and the other two head off home. And at the Rose Farm, lots of predictable shit happens. Like, he ends up kissing the girl, and they're snogging, and the dad walks in the house, and it's just like, all this kind of fucking shit. But it gets to the point then where Thomas ends up trying to steal medicine, and the girl, I can't remember the girl's name, the character name even, but she catches him, and she actually goes, look, here's the medicine, go ahead. And when he's heading off back, this is another one of those cinematography masterclasses. Like, he's leaving the Rose Farm with the medicine, and one of the guys comes up behind him with a shotgun, and he's just like, give me the fucking medicine or whatever, like, you dickhead. And this is a shot like that. No one's moving in the shot. There's just two of them, and it's a face off at the gate. And it's just like, give me the medicine. The camera is fucking like, it's all over the shot. But it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? It's a simple scene, simple shot. And it's one of those scenarios where it just completely takes you out of it. And the guys get pretty ruthless then. We see in the next scene where they've tied Thomas down, and like in the barn, and they're just like going to blow off his fucking leg or something. Just like,
that was wild, because surely because they've been, as you said,
peaceful.
Well, not just that, they've probably been visiting this place for 15 years. So this is a place where they're going to go to barter and trade and all the rest of it. They know this family, where they all know them by name and everything. straight away he's like, oh yeah, he came up here to try and rob some medicine. I'm going to use his shotgun.
Blow off your
part
fucking
of your
hair.
leg on. He's got a shotgun at his leg. Like, holy shit! And there's a bunch of them in the barn. That they're like it's like something out of a bunch of like you'd have a mutated hillbillies kind of movie. You'd have like a horror movie where the locals take over for no reason whatsoever, other than these poor city people wandered into these people's backwards fucking town, and so they've done something awful to them. These are just things that regular folks during the movie. They're not played as bad guys. They're just wandering around doing work. They're shoveling stuff, moving stuff, fixing stuff. And then all of a sudden, lads, let's all get around in a group and blow this kid's leg off.
Fuck's sake.
Fucking wild.
They're pretty dark. It definitely kind of stinks of something where someone went, we need to beef up an action beat in the script or something like that, and someone's come in to kind of go, hold on, what if we do this and this and this? That'll but continuity wise, and that's big word during this movie where it's just like that just doesn't make sense at all. They're not warring fucking factions or anything like that. But back at the Cage house, Nicolas Cage is obviously in bedridden with fucking half his face kind of blown off and he's in bits. But brother Joseph starts to realize that something's happening with the house and the fucking monsters are starting to dig under the house, which is pretty fucking cool. But like if they just went to just start with that, where that's a thing, like Tremors or something.
Yeah,
that's terrifying, right?
Well, again, like this, that's where it kind of doesn't add up either. Is that like Joseph has realized that they've dug tunnels under the house, and of course they do come up under this other house. They've obviously coordinated to do all this, so they've managed to build tunnels right there under the place to do it. Yeah. That doesn't really fit in with people who are testing the doors to find weaknesses, or are just a bit stupid enough that can be taken out with a baseball bat.
Did they just figure out they could do this? Like what? Like why don't they do this? Why isn't it a thing?
Why haven't they done it over the 15 years? It's just so synchronized. They managed to all plan it all to do it all in the same night. Makes you think, okay, they're kind of intelligent. Yet when the one that he captures, him and the two of them brothers kill it, it's just some wild animal. Like it is. No, it's not. Yeah. There's no intelligence to it, so it doesn't really make sense. We can talk more about the creatures when we get on to the next part, because some of the shit, man, that fucking thing with the snapping of them out is just...
we'll get to that, yeah. Like the kind of third act really kicks into gear when over the Rose farm that the main leader and his wife are just chatting away, and he just goes to open the door and it's just fucking attacked by this big fucking creature, and it's the first time we really see it up close and personal attacking. And and I didn't see this coming because I was waiting for that thing that I saw underneath in the cave where it just looks fucking weird. It just looked like an old man with a beard with crazy big eyes and kind of creature. Yeah. Like it just looked really
you only get a
interesting.
Split second, like, but it, yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, but then when we see this, it's like some kind of elongated fucking dinosaur fucking mouth that snaps at an alarming rate. It's just like
I thought someone had given it.
Fucking hell,
yeah,
what's
that? That was the thing that stood out. I thought someone had maybe it was going to attack and someone had hit it with an electric shock and that was it going into fucking spasms. I was like, all right, something. But no, that's just what it does. It does this a million times a second. Snap. What's the point of it? It doesn't make any sense. Did someone just think it sounded or looked good?
The logistics of what the creatures are, what they do, how they kill, and how they structure their attacks make absolutely no sense. It's like a load of different movies and different evolutions of a character, or 4 different species altogether, maybe the same family or something, because it does this snapping thing, but it doesn't. That's just almost like rah, rah, like when it gets up close, you see like it kills the father and mother or whatever, but then you see the little girl, when she walks out of her room, she follows a blood trail into the bath in the house. And this, like, I rewound this a million fucking times to just see what's happening, because she looks up and in the bath, the creature's lying in the bath somehow. There's some hole in its back or something where it's like it's eating something, or it's digesting something. What the fuck is happening?
Because it's jumped on the mam. It's jumped on the mam, and you see her point of it, and I thought it's putting her into. Yes, I was wondering if either it's swallowing her, or is this how it makes more of them? Like, is it putting into some kind of coup, and these things were actually
it's like it was laying human an egg or something.
Like, are these things human at some point, or did they got turned into these monsters? Again, not explained. Like, there's a part early on that the two of them were talking where he says, okay, you've got 15 seconds or 10 seconds, explain what happened at the end of the world. And both of them kind of have a thing at 10 seconds. I was like, Jesus, is this how they're going to tell us? Like he goes, some bug bit somebody, and then this and this happened. And then she goes, okay, it was my turn. And then he goes, well, other way around, sorry. And she say, gas got released and something happened. Everybody else went mad. So they both get 10 seconds and they're going to have a laugh about it. I'm like, well, is one of them true? I mean, what is the truth? Because it's not, only 15 years have passed. So people should be able to tell you the truth because they're all still alive. So just
because that scene like earlier on, it was kind of a nice scene with the two of them. This is like when Thomas goes to Rose Farm and they're just like chatting under the tree, her favorite tree or whatever, and they're playing that game, and it's like, and straight away it was like, is this the exposition we're going to get? And then it just turns out it's a playful game they play, and kind of going, that's interesting if it's a Fallout scenario or if it's 200 years or the transcripts and books and writings have died away and no one knows what happened. It's just like, guess what happened? Ask your fucking dad what happened.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That's fucking nonsense. But then like the creatures just start attacking fucking everyone, and like in the barn where they're trying to blow off Thomas's leg, the creatures fucking storm in and just fucking kill everyone. But like we've
just as he's about to blow his leg off, he has the gun raised,
of course,
finger on the trigger. It is split second, and all of a sudden the floor gets opened up and he gets fucking pulled down into
and
it.
all these creatures come out and kill all these guys. But then these and at this point, I think we've only been introduced to, maybe, like, if you count them, there's about 7 people here, and I'm pretty sure they all die straight away. And then there's only like one creature left or something like that. But then when this spinning wheel of monsters thing,
that is fucking
the most ludicrous
mental
thing I've ever seen in the world. Like, they come out of the barn, and it's just to see how the creatures are arriving at the farm, and they're all joined up together, like hand to toe, in a little wheel.
They're using it. They're using the roof or something. They're like a bunch of like ants who build bridges. They're joined at the top of the roof, and then they turn into a wheel full of dudes, and they just wheel around.
Roll around.
When you quicker just running after them individually.
Just run. Yeah, you're pretty
even
fast.
Strategically wise, this doesn't make any sense. Like,
it's just like, why? Why did you come up with this wheelie thing when you can just dig under the fucking ground and like?
Yeah, it was
someone
like
kind of go on
Transformers all come together.
Yes,
Transformers all come together, like, or Voltron, when they all come together to make one giant pod. Like, let's all form into the super circle, and it's just this big fucking mess of arms and limbs and shit just fucking chasing after them. Like, this is not scary. This is hilarious.
They're all ready to take. Imagine, they're all like, right, let's go and take the fucking farm. Let's get under the thing, and just like, that boss Kevin wants to do the wheelie thing. All right, fucking, let's do the wheelie thing. So anyway, like, they it's a full on assault by the monsters, and they fucking kill everyone, and it's a bit fucking it's a bit mad. Like, all the monsters are all over the farm. I mean, they seem to get out, and they end up all back. How do they get back to the house? Did they get back to? Sorry, fucking hell. They escape on the. Is it the fucking Jeep thing?
No, that's afterwards. They get back to, because Joseph is in the house on his towboat.
Oh, I'm thinking of it. Yeah. They go back
he's
to the
back
house.
He's back there with Nicolas Cage, and again, they managed to make
the house?
themselves.
They just run, did they?
They make it in the middle of the night, all the way. They make it without, and they make it all the way back to the house without getting attacked. Like, hang on, if these 2 kids can do it, why are people so worried about the nighttime? Just go out in groups, because if the 2 of these can go out and just fucking make it the whole way back across the countryside to their home, they just make it there on foot. Which is mental. But they come into the gaff, like, he thinks Joseph thinks it's a monster, but then he hand reaches in to try and unlock it, and he realizes it's Thomas, and you come in and find out that they've got a plan on what they're going to do, because Joseph has figured the whole thing out. Like, he's obviously the smart one. He wants to study them.
He plays chess. We were told he plays chess. So
plays chess, yeah.
He's the smart one.
They really play it up that he's the smart brother, and the other one is the kind of the rogue brother. Again, I thought he was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed Mart's really performance. Martel's performance. He was really good. But we're talking about it kicking into mud, because now we're starting to get to see more and more of the full creature. Multiple full creatures, and we're seeing tons of these heads at once. All doing snap. It's so fucking funny. It's like something from a cartoon. It's mental.
But like when they get back to the house, yeah, it's the kind of standoff, and the house is they're coming up through the ground in the house. So long story short, Joseph sets in motion like gets gasoline, sets a fucking bomb ready to go off. And yeah, they barely escape from numerous monsters, and they're kind of retreating back into a room where they're gonna where they have it's a fridge, right? That they get into.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure it was a fridge or it was a chest of some kind that fits
Yeah.
3 people.
Yeah, if it fits 3 people, and yeah, just like if it fit 3 people, I think Nicolas Cage could have squeezed in there. But anyway, Nicolas Cage.
Well, I assume the reason is that they didn't. He wasn't. He was probably just expecting it to be him and Nicolas Cage because the brother wasn't there. He didn't know it was coming back. But Nicolas Cage has no idea what's going on because he's been out cold. He's been enough to maybe got up to take a fucking whatever a pill. That Thomas has brought back. For the most part, he's just fucking. He's just laying. He's just laid up. But like when he gets up, ready to rock, he gets up and he knows what's happening. He knows that the lads have a plan, all this kind of stuff. And he kind of it's kind of sacrifices himself, I guess.
Yeah, but this is another one of these kind of movie tropes where it's obviously like, okay, there's if they set it up, there's not enough room there or something like that. But they go into the room and he just closes the door, and they're banging the door. No, Dad, whatever. And it turns that like Nicolas Cage turns to face the monsters or whatever. And the music here is fucking brilliant. I really enjoy this, and we were saying before about with Atlas movie, and there's sometimes when you don't know something has not so much got you, but the family dynamic or relationship has been really solidly put in motion or put in your head, where when he turns and the music kicks in, I was just like, oh fucking hell, it's just like maybe it's the dad in me or whatever just turned into a weepy sob. But I was just like, I felt that was quite emotional. But it doesn't make any sense because he goes to face the monsters and the thing just blows up anyway. So there's no standoff where he's just like, take this, with fucking...
Yeah, he hits a couple with a baseball bat or something like that. And the floor falls through.
Baseball bat, which is very easy. He just kills like 3 of them with a few good swings. But like, that's what it was. Yeah, it was the flashback. It's when he turns around and he's walking towards the monsters, and we get a flashback of him holding the 2 little babies from the start. And that's where I was just like, oh, fucking hell, that's lovely. And it's more so the music, which was, I thought was really, really top notch. But yeah, then it's, the explosion goes off and we see inside that chest that's what I thought was a fridge, because is it that whole fucking, you can survive a nuclear explosion inside a fridge, depends on the fridge. If it was made in the 60s,
how are you fitting 3 people
it's a
in
really
a fridge?
big
how
explosion,
big is this fridge?
because we get a good shot from inside the fridge or chest or whatever, and it's really cool because you see the flames and it's shaking outside. But it's like the explosion goes on for about fucking 25 seconds. It's just, how the fuck have you survived that? But alas, they do survive, and it's just, they escape the house, which is burning, and then they escape on the Jeep.
They're escaping on their little yoke, yeah.
And we get, it's just like, just stop the movie. Just stop the movie now, and just like, don't continue with this. Don't give me another wheel of fucking monsters. But it's a wheel of monsters, creatures that are on fire, coming after this fucking Jeep here. And it's like, oh, what are you doing? And the girl has like 2 shots and she shoots 2 of them, but then she just swings the butt of the gun.
She's like, I'm out of bullets, it's getting closer. And you feel like it is getting closer and closer.
Yeah,
and then
she's like, what the fuck?
I'll just try to swing the gun at them. So she just swings the gun at them, and that breaks the whole wheel. They all just
and they all fall to bits, and they all and they live happily ever after. But when they get to like the start and end of this movie are decent enough, but it's the cinematography that it bookends this movie chaotically, where it's like the last shot of them, and it's just like, it's great because they're going to go off together as a little fucking team of 3 of them, and they survive, and it's kind of bittersweet. But it's a simple thing again, that's no one's moving, nothing's really happening. They drive off over a hill and go out of shot, and the camera is just fucking just all over the place.
Because when they're doing this, like, and what makes it me even more jarring is that they drive off the hill, we stay behind them as they go off in their little fucking golf cart thing, whatever your man he's built is going off, is the credits start to roll. So not only is the
And you
camera
can't
shaking,
read
but you're trying to read credits going up and the camera's going fucking.
What are you doing? Like,
why are you doing that? What is that for? Whose benefit is that? I was so
It's post-apocalyptic. It's crazy.
I was so happy when it just fucking cut to black.
Yeah, it's just.
But it was nice. Like just before that, when they head off in their little jeep, they mentioned that they know there's other people around. Obviously, they've 15 years have passed. There's X amount of people. We know there's other people around. We'll go and visit them. But they've made graves, for the fucking family that have passed and stuff. And there's a nice kind of moment.
It's touching.
With the three of them kind of around there. Yeah.
That just shows that the relationship between the brothers and with Nicolas Cage, even though he's in for 10 seconds, and the relationship between the girl and Thomas or whatever. It's just, I wouldn't say amazing writing, but it was just like solid writing around those scenes and building those relationships to the point where there's decent payoffs when you need touching moments or if somebody sacrificed themselves. There's a good, decent amount of weight to it. It's just, you can't have something like that and have a spinning wheel of monsters on fire. Like you can't, that's not, the two of them don't marry together too well. So, and that's it. At the end of it, I was like, I enjoyed 60 minutes of that where I was like, this is kind of, it gave me, not, I say 28 Days Later, but not in terms of that caliber, but in terms of that kind of low budget, kind of raw, small kind of family unit or, something, and a Quiet Place, something like that. But it's, like where those are 4 and 5 star movies, this like is 2, maybe 2.5. 2.5 stars for me. The half star is because of this, the family dynamic and the kind of touching moments, which will always get an extra half star for me. But
fair enough. Yeah, like, as I said, I'd stick with my 2. I liked the young lad's performance, especially Jaden Martell. Thought he was great. The music is good. 90 minutes, and it does go along fine. It's just, for me, the monsters, I just didn't enjoy them at all. They were just, there's no proper reason or explanation for why they do what they do. I mean, I get it. It's sci-fi or it's drama or it's horror, but there's still, as we said before in this podcast, there still has to be rules within the world that you've built. And
there are none with these guys.
Yeah, and they're just, it's all over the place here. Camera work is terrible. Some of the dialogue is pretty fucking crap. Yeah, but as I said, some performances are fine. I don't really have any issue with them, but it's fine. It's probably outside. Yeah, it's probably 2 stars. It's not to the point where I'd watch it again if it was, I saw it on Netflix. Well, I'll throw it on because there's a lot of bleakness to it. And I think if you're going to make a movie really bleak, it has to be compelling. And I didn't find this compelling.
Yeah, good stuff. So that's our review of Arcadian. Kind of watch it, but watch it for the silly monsters wheel of death on fire that gets taken out by the butt of a gun.
Maybe see if you can find some clips on YouTube or something of the wheel of death of monsters. It's fucking wild looking.
Yeah.
Well, look, thanks very much for bringing us through that, Daz. You did that very succinctly and very very brief. Well done. This must be our shortest episode. Well done.
Happy days.
Yeah, look for me and Daz. That's the end of this week's show. Thanks many for tuning in. If you could just keep doing the liking and subscribing and sharing and all that good stuff, and we look forward to talking to you again on the next one. So take it easy.